So guys, here we are with Tim Gentry's little fox body Mustang that made it to the finals over the weekend, but he had a little bit of an issue and he forgot to turn on the nitrous. Don't tell him because he just walked up, but he forgot to turn on the nitrous here. So we're gonna go in here and I have a pressure sensor and some stuff like that, and I keep some wiring in the trailer that we carry with us everywhere. So guys, if you need if you have a pressure sensor that goes bad or something like that, there's more than likely I have a spare. I can't just give it away. You either got to borrow it with a fair amount of collateral that you leave with me, or you could just purchase a sensor. But we're gonna go in here.
The title of the car.
Yeah, right. Just give me the title of your car or something like that. So we're gonna go in here, and we're gonna add one of these 1600 psi sensors that I have sitting somewhere over here, and we're gonna run that into. We're gonna have an on-off valve right here that hooks up to the nitrous bottle in the back. So he'll have this main bottle here, and we're gonna put the pressure sensor on the on side of the valve. So he'll have the main pressure gauge on the bottle itself, but then we'll go in here and we're gonna add into the Holley system. We're going to toolbox, add configuration file, inputs, outputs. We're just gonna go with the default here, open it up, and that's gonna open up this box right here, which is the input outputs. And we're gonna go to inputs, and we're gonna turn this one into nitrous pressure. Okay, and we're gonna enable that, and that's gonna be a 5-volt sensor here. Okay, I'm gonna go in here and we're gonna configure, and this is gonna be a 1600 psi sensor. We're using a low dollar sensor, but the 1600 psi sensor from Holley is the same scaling here. Okay, and since it's a nitrous sensor, anything under 850 psi is going to be a problem. Okay, so and we're going to do this. You go ahead and you can rescale all this if you want. So display max will be 1600 because that's what the deal is here. And if your bottle pressure is over 1000 psi, we have problems. So you can change the scaling on this if you want to, but we're going to skip that for right now. We're going to go in here and where used. All right, doesn't say it's in use anywhere. We will go in here and we will add some safeties in here, and once that is done, it'll say where it's used. But then we can go in here and pin map and N2O pressure. Okay, that's going to be an input. So we go with A13 or A4, or if we had the additional connectors on the Terminator here, we could plug it into J3 or J4. But this system right now doesn't have the J3 or J4 connector in it. I do have those in the trailer, but this is just a street car through and through. So we're going to add this into. So you got frequency, 5-volt, high, or ground. We're going to go through. We'll go through this on A4 here, and that's gonna be our nitrous pressure. I'm gonna cut this video real quick, and we'll walk you through once I get out the pressure sensor. So guys, getting back at it. So this is a low dollar Motorsports 0 to 1600 psi sensor. Okay, this here we have red, black, and yellow. Red is gonna be 5-volt. Black is going to be sensor ground. It's different than a chassis ground, okay? This has to go to a clean ground. And then the yellow here is our signal wire. So signal wire is what's going to go to the J1A4 pin in the Holley ECU. So we're going to have to connect this to the Holley ECU, this to the Holley ECU, and this to the Holley ECU. Because power, ground, and signal, they have to be clean wires. They're not just normal battery normal things going to the power and ground of your battery or your car chassis. They have to be sensor ground and sensor power. I carry this stuff in the car as well. I ordered all this stuff through Holley. This has black, purple, red, and it actually has a shielded cable here also for shielded sensors. This is a better quality cabling or wiring for stuff like that you're using for frequency, such as drive shaft speed sensors, wheel speed sensors, anything like that. They're shielded cables. You can see that there's the purple, the black, the red, and that one right there, which is there for shielding. The tools that we're going to be using today for our crimping are these iWis. Believe it or not, they're Amazon specials, but these guys work pretty dang well. They do pretty good crimps. as long as you pay attention. Now, they have some crimpers out there that are $400 or $500 that do a very good job. And, you know, one day we will get those once we become YouTube superstars. But for right now, these guys right here work pretty dang well. Of course, they don't have the durability as a very high quality one, but if you're not doing it every single day, they do work. So I keep these in the trailer along with my box of, you know, a whole bunch of spares, and I have a bunch of spare sensors in the trailer as well. So we're gonna get to going here. We're gonna go find a 1/2-inch pipe, high pressure valve, so we could put that in here. We'll probably have to order up a different line. There's gonna be a -6 line that goes to the Nitrous kit, because he can run this system as 2 kits if we get rid of the wet system. But for right now, we're just gonna go and wire this stuff in. So guys, I didn't install this system, so don't judge it too bad. We're gonna do what we can to clean it up here though. But so this is the you got your sensor ground and 5-volt right here. Okay, we could just cut these 2 wires out and plug it into this A4 connector right here, and then these 3 wires can get plugged into our sensor, our 1600 psi sensor, because we have our 5-volt, we have our sensor ground, and we would have our signal wire. But we're probably going to go through here. We're going to probably make a little harness expansion module for this deal. So then we could go orange would be spliced into 2 parts, ground would be spliced into 2 parts, and we'll use this as 1 piece, and then it'll give us enough room for the other sensors. How are we going to do that? Well, we use these guys. Where did I put them? Boom. I get these Deutsch connectors from Low Dollar Motorsports. And generally speaking, I use like a 12 pin deal. So then you could do 4 sensor grounds, 4 5-volt signals, and 4 signal wires in it. But here we're going to do it a little bit differently. Since the Terminator here has the J3, J4 connectors that we can expand to, we're just going to do, we'll do 5-volt, sensor ground, signal. So then we go through here and we could have 1 sensor on top, 1 sensor on the bottom. And that way we will have expansion to add 1 more sensor to this car if we need to, and another 5-volt sensor. So we're just gonna work on that. We're gonna go through here. I'm gonna go see if I have some different wiring, because I like to keep all the colors the same. 5-volt is orange. Sensor grounds are usually black with a white tracer. So I'm gonna see if I have any of that in the trailer. But if not, we could use what we can here and expand that so we can add this sensor into here. Here we are at the next step. You can see that this is a 2-into-1 deal. So this is a splice that we'll put into the 5-volt side and the sensor ground side, and that'll make it so that we could have a signal on the top, signal on the bottom. Then we have 2 open ports on this one. So you can see they're pinned in there. And then with this style here, we have this little guy that slides in and locks the pins in. But we're gonna go in and we'll either solder these or a good crimp connection, depending on how it's all set up. Sometimes the solder connection, if it's wiggles, it can crack. So a good crimper is a pretty dang good connection. So we're gonna go through here and see what we could do. Then we'll go and put 5-volt to here and sensor grounds to here. Then we'll plug in the A4 connector for our nitrous pressure to the top side here. And then we'll have 3 open ports here, 1 for another sensor and 2 for whether inputs or outputs, depending on how it plays out at a later date. What are you doing over here? He's got a little Honda motor running over here. I'm trying to use my generator to solder some wires here. Rev it up! We're getting rained on, Braxton. We're getting rained on. I'm about to go home. I gotta go like 30 feet. Also, when you're cutting this casing, I didn't film it. Nick did it again. But use a razor blade and you just roll the casing on it. And when it's peeling apart, you want to make sure you don't cut any of the wires in there. So you gotta make sure that's all good to go. Did you like the chocolate covered pretzel?
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, for you.
You and Joe Bon go for a ride? I think your helmet fits you perfect. What do you think?
Good.
Does it fit a little too small?
Yeah.
Your helmet's a little too small for you? I think so too. How's it working out?
Good. Ah!
Joe Bon, go for a ride. If you take off, I get to eat all these pretzels to myself. Oh no! Man down, man down. Oh no, they're coming back. They're coming to steal my pretzels. They're coming to steal my pretzels. They're coming. Give you a pretzel or you're going to punch me? That'd be rude. Okay, I'll get you another one, okay? You guys are going to eat all my pretzels. You're going to make me go broke. All right. 2 for you.
Yay!
2. You already got it.
Only got one.
Okay. That's all you get. You're done.
Give me one more. I'm gonna cut.
But you got to eat it before you go for your ride, okay? You can't be eating while you ride. Braxton could probably fit 4 of them in those little cheeks of his.
Give me another one.
No, you've had like 12 of them.
I'm gonna punch
You're
you.
done for the day.
I'm gonna punch you.
That's okay. Your little punch is gonna fly, be like a fly landing on me. I won't even know it. Well, guys, in a previous video, you saw me playing around on that Tin Soldier's 4-link calculator, that new one here. And Straight Gangster here, I did convert it over to a 4-link setup. It is an offset 4-link. Of course, those lower bars are quite a bit longer than your standard 4-link, but that's because I could run it as a ladder bar setup as well. I already went and modified this one right here. This is my slider setup, so I could adjust the deal. And this is the slider setup. It is the setup that I built for the Homegrown Hustler, and it's a pretty cool deal. So these slide up and down in the 4-link brackets, but now that I have the slider setup, I only use the one set of holes here. Well, right now, I just can't get the instant center exactly where I want it for the backside stuff. So I'm actually going to go in here. I guess this is backwards here because it's the other side. We're going to go out here and we're just going to cut off the top inch out of it. 1 inch on the lower bar makes a pretty significant change as far as the instant center length and height and anti-squat percentages. So we're going to go through here. I'm going to mark these off. We're going to chop them down so that we can get our lower bar at the angle that we want it. I just can't get it to the position that I want it for the backside stuff. Now, we did go, right off the trailer with this 4-link setup that I built for this car, we did go a 120 flat 60 foot on a pretty marginal track. But in the backside stuff, when we're aiming for that 130, 145, sometimes worse, 60 foot range, I got to make that suspension work a little bit harder. And to be able to do that with a 4-link setup, the way I run the car, I got to be able to move that bar a little more than what it is. Now, I'm not going to give you too many specifics here, but I'll go and show you something here, and I'll show you why I got to do this, because, yeah. So, guys, you see that right there? I can't use that lower hole right there. Straight Gangster got drug on the ground, and we just can't get that lower bolt exactly where we want it. I thought about welding it up and seeing if I could do something in there, but whatever. So if I could lower that bolt hole a little bit on the rear end housing, I probably wouldn't have to make the upper move, but I can't do that right now because, Homegrown Hustler, when we got hit, this rear end got drugged down the street, and it's pretty ugly. So we're gonna make a couple of changes. We're probably gonna lower the shock mount probably 1 hole as well, and that'll give us a little bit more room for when we have to toss a little bit of ballast in the car. We still have enough shock travel in the car. So now that way we used our square and the Sharpie, I keep all this stuff in the trailer. I keep my porta band, keep my TIG welder, all that stuff in the trailer here, so we could go and make these little changes in between races when need to. Yeah, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna go and voila. We're gonna cut this down and see what we can take care of here. So guys, here we are with Straight Gangster. You can kind of see, I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but we moved these bars around a little bit. I moved these sliders so I can adjust these up and down a little bit. I originally built them for the Homegrown Hustler where this bracket here flips upside down. but I just can't get it to the way I want it with the bracket upside down. So I shortened those up a little bit. I can move those up in about another inch, and that's a pretty severe bar angle there to really get my instant center where I want it on these slower surfaces. And then I just undo those 2 bolts, slide this back down for the really fast front side stuff. But there's Straight Gangster. That's underneath of it. Nothing too special. She's no super lightweight car, but it's been running pretty good, and we're excited to see how fast we can go down. At Yellow Belly and stuff like that. I have several doctor's appointments and stuff like that, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to conquer the concrete. That's kind of a day by day, but we did order the plane tickets for Maddie and MVP to fly into Dallas-Fort Worth so we could race Yellow Belly the 12th and the 13th. Then we'll be looking for some fun things to do between Dallas-Fort Worth and Lake Cumberland, Kentucky. So guys, Lake Cumberland, Kentucky, there is a race there that is the following week, so that'd be April 17th and 18th and 19th or something like that. That's going to be a pretty good race over there in Kentucky. They are putting, I believe, $10,000 on top of buy-in fees. And guys, that is freaking huge. That's promoters doing the job of a promoter. That's friggin' awesome for us racers, right? Some of these promoters are saying, hey, we're having a $20,000 race, and it's literally a $3,000 race. Like, you can't spend the money to go travel to a race that's advertised as one thing and having it being a 4th or a 5th or a 8th of what they advertise it as. So guys, that race is gonna be pretty good, but we will have a fully loaded, well, it is fully loaded, of merchandise here. So guys, possibility of of Oklahoma, just gotta stay up to date, like and subscribe, and we'll keep you updated. And then Maddie and MVP are flying into Texas. So guys, Sexy Rexy, MVP, Lady Gangster, and myself will be looking for some fun things to do between Texas and Kentucky between the like April 14th and April 17th or 18th or whatever it is. So guys, if you know of anything, let us know. Appreciate it, guys. We'll see you all soon. I'll get another video out here shortly.